Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and this appears to be trying to make the Florida Man meme seem tame by comparison. From CBS 12 News, former daycare teacher pled guilty to molesting kids. No prison time. Orlando, Florida, CBS 12. A man who admitted to molesting children will not spend any time in prison. According to WKMG, a judge sentenced Jericho Hamilton to 15 years of sexual offender probation after he pled guilty to lewd and lascivious conduct. Hamilton taught an Orlando VPK until he was arrested last year. Several parents told investigators their children had been sexually abused during nap time. Orange County Judge Elaine A. Barbour said she hoped the sentencing will provide some small measure of closure. I really hope Judge Barbour is removed from the bench. Now, this is a very short one. This is actually the kind of news story I like to see posted because it's very short and sweet. It's what happened when, where, and who was involved. I don't want the why. I don't care about the why. This idiot has pled guilty to molesting children, almost as young as toddlers. VPK. This is a pre-K program. So these are probably 3 and 4-year-olds. And he's molesting them. And of course, this judge gives him 15 months of sexual offender probation. This is amidst a society where we have schools that are trying to teach kindergartners about sex, trying to normalize pedophilia as a sexual orientation. We have Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the record that the age of consent should be reduced to, I believe, 12. This is an evil and dark movement in our society. The move to strip children of their of their protection. I saw another story today about a Texas man who, when he found someone trying to rape his very, very young daughter, he flew into a rage, as I would if I found someone trying to rape any of my female relatives or friends. Unfortunately, his rage was about what I believe mine would be, and the beating the rapist got ended up taking his life. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but I can't say I would have been any more restrained than that father was. Now, this man in Texas has not had charges against him. The judge has even reinforced that deadly force is authorized for defense of life. And if I find someone with my young niece's underwear off of her and his pants around his ankles, I'm going to treat it as an assault on her that could end her life, because it very well could. And I can tell you that while I have made references to I can give the I'll rip your head off, follow you to hell, and Satan will tell me I'm going too far look, I won't necessarily say I'd go that far, but ask yourself if this idiot had been your child's VPK teacher and had pled guilty to molesting children in his care, what would you be feeling? Would you be satisfied with 15 months of, 15 years of sexual offender probation? Now, that's going to be some rehabilitation classes and checking in with a probation officer and, registering and all that other stuff. But there's nothing else there. I've said in other videos that I was a firefighter, but I also did work as a law enforcement official, actually as detention officer for my county, a couple of years before I joined my volunteer fire department. I can tell you, and this is not a secret, this is something that anyone who works in any detention facility, be it county, state, or federal, child molesters are kept separate from general population. Okay? Rapists may have to be watched to be protected, but child molesters, they don't even like each other. There is such a thing as honor among thieves. Okay? If you've watched the movie Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor, it's an older movie. The only person I know for sure that was in it was Benjamin Bratt and the guy who played Ken in Street Fighter. I forget his name. Damian Chapa. And they are members of one East Los Angeles gang. When he gets put in prison for killing a rival gang member, although looking at the scene, it was self-defense, as the gang member was firing on him, he finds members of that gang in prison, but they don't attack him. Because he is Chicano, they bring him into their little clique that is a gang unto itself in prison. And there's members from all of the rival gangs there. So that is the honor among thieves. But that does not extend to child molesters. I can tell you that on average, you're going to find that even keeping them separate, they're not safe. They hate each other. Okay? And if you put them in general population, their life expectancy is less than 2 weeks. They will be found not responding to the call for breakfast one morning in their bunk, not breathing, or worse. And that is because even criminals, thieves, murderers, drug dealers, even all of them know that to assault the innocent to assault a child like that is just evil to the point of demonic. But we now have people trying to normalize it and say, well, I'm just, my sexual orientation is pedophile. As if that gives you the right to assault a child. Especially someone as young as 3 to 4, maybe 5 years old, who I can tell you cannot consent. They can barely consent to being fed dinner. But this idiot gets no jail time. I won't wish ill on anyone. I worked in that jail, and my job was to ensure that everyone was safe and healthy. And I did my job, no matter what I felt about their crime. Because, of course, in jail, everyone's innocent. But with the rash of this, we had the idiot, I believe, from New York, the bus driver. Now we have this. We're not long from someone having a news story a few weeks or so later of a individual like this meeting a very unfortunate situation. And the news, I don't know, they'll either play it up as an accident, or they'll, at the worst thing they could do is say that the person had their right to life stripped away from them by a brutal vigilante, and they'll take this idiot's side. We live in a society ruled by laws. Okay? You can't steal other people's things. You cannot kill. You cannot assault. You cannot break into homes. You can't speed. Can't drive without a seat belt. If you get a summons to appear at court, you have to go. Failure to appear warrants will be issued. If you molest a child, you go to prison. I know people who have gone to jail for a year for hot checks. This idiot gets 15 years of probation for molesting children, and he pled guilty. Something's going to have to change. And the first thing that needs to change is judges that say, oh, you're accused of molesting children. Yeah, Your Honor, I did it. Well, I'm sorry, but that's a horrible thing. We're going to give you probation. Judges like that need to be removed from the bench. Plain and simple. That is a slap in the face of every law-abiding citizen of this country. And I don't know how bad it's going to get before someone finally says, oh, you raped and murdered 3 people and burned their house down? Well, you get 10 years probation. I mean, are we going to have to get to that level where a rapist, murderer, arsonist is given probation before we finally demand our government tell these judges, you can't just turn these criminals back on the street? It needs to change. But honestly, I've talked about this long enough. I'm starting to get a headache. So let me know what you think. Keep it civil. Try to stay calm. We do not learn from argument. We learn from debate. Also, please remember to like, share, and comment on this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you are the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.